Hello, I'm Chuck Long, and on this edition of the Entertainment Outlook, the much buzzed about documentary 2, The Story of Roman and Nero, recently premiered at the Nashville Film Festival. It's the true life account of a real modern family featuring legendary Hall of Fame songwriter Desmond Child and his lifelong partner, Curtis Shaw, and their 2 sons. Take a look.
Curtis Shaw Child.
Desmond Child.
My name is Angela.
And this is
The story
of our family. This is my daddy, which his real name is Desmond. Desmond, he's written big hits. I Hate Myself for Loving You, for Joan Jett. I Was Made for Loving You, for Kiss, Livin' La Vida Loca, for Ricky Martin. You Give Love a Bad Name, for Bon Jovi.
Do you not know who Bon Jovi is?
Boys, this is your godfather.
Then it goes, it's all the same.
This is my dad, Papa, which his real name is Curtis.
Give me 5. Give me 5.
I'm Mom. I'm Daddy Mom.
Great to have you guys here.
Thanks for having us.
Now, we're going to talk about the film, but I tell you, Desmond, in getting ready for this, and of course, I know people know what a noted songwriter you are, but I mean, seriously, when you look at the list from 1979 on, You Give Love a Bad Name, Living on a Prayer, Bon Jovi, I Hate Myself for Loving You, Joan Jett, I Was Made for Loving You, Kiss, Livin' La Vida Loca, Ricky Martin, Dude Looks Like a Lady, Aerosmith, all the way up to Waking Up in Vegas, Katy Perry. Did you ever wonder you might have a dry spell in there? I mean, you just...
I just keep working hard. I just don't know anything else to do. I just love music, and I love working with artists. So I just put one foot in front of the other. I never look back.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're doing something right because it continues to work. All right, so let's talk about the documentary. So, first off, I mean, it's a great documentary, but I want to know what prompted you guys to say, let's do a documentary on this?
Well, it started very organically. It started as a video diary that Angela, our surrogate, started here in Nashville. And little by little, we just started adding parts of ourselves. And over the years, we weren't really sure what we were going to do with this, if this was just going to be a really long, really expensive home movie or what. And it's turned out to be a 12-year journey.
We met our director, Heather Winters, and she really wove it together in a masterful way. And so she found the heart in it, and it's much deeper than we ever thought it was going to be.
Now, I know you always wanted children because in the documentary you talk about it, but was it something that you thought, because growing up, all of us, we didn't always think that might be an option, you know, being gay and having kids and that sort of thing. What did you think as far as growing up and thinking, do I want kids? Can I have kids? Will it be acceptable? What was the whole thought process then?
I always was sure I was going to have kids. I didn't know how it was going to happen, but it was never ruled out for me.
And that's the same thing for me. I always felt like it was going to happen, but I didn't really know how that would be. And
so technology caught up with us, and so we were able to have our own biological children. And so that's the thing that I'm always burned up about when I go on TV and they say, well, marriage was created for procreation. It's like, well, gay people aren't infertile. We can have children, and we do have children, and our children deserve all the rights of any other child that's born.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about the journey then in having the kids. Tell us about that.
Well, I had met Angela here in Nashville.
Right.
And we had been invited by Deepak Chopra to go to India with a How to Know God conference. And she was one of the first people that we ran into once we were there. And we found out later that that first night she had a dream that she had our child, which she didn't tell us for months later.
But I kept looking at her in a certain way, and she says, why are you looking at me? And I said, because you're going to have my kid. And she said, shut up, get away from me, ooh. And so finally she thought about it and said, I think I'm supposed to do this.
For a second, and they go, oh.
And did it just feel right? It's like that will be the path?
Well, it very organically just kind of fell into place. You know, it almost felt like someone from above was moving the chess pieces and making everything happen. It was really, and that's part of what we wanted to, why we wanted to make this film, because it really felt like there was something special about this moment. We had to document this, and we had to tell other people about the story.
Now, living in Nashville, and of course we know Nashville's got some wonderfully diverse areas, and it also has some conservative pockets. Have you or your boys met with any negatives?
I have to say we've only had positive experiences here in Nashville. We have a wonderful school that the boys go to, a wonderful, supportive, diverse community. The only place that I was a little bit nervous going outside of our little family bubble was in sports. And our boys are big soccer players. But I have to say, from the very beginning, we were met with kindness and hospitality.
Right? Yeah.
Hostility.
No hostility, though. That's good.
No hostility.
That's good.
That's for me. I'm hostile.
But you know, I mean, being here, I'm from the Midwest, I'm from Missouri, and so I know how people can be, and when people have questions, I just felt like, you know, in making the choice to have these children, we really need to show up and be honest with everyone, with the children, with, you know, and just say this is who we are.
Right.
And that's kind of how it feels as we're going through life. This is who we are.
Now, there's a point in the film where Roman, I mean, both of these boys, they seem exceptional in the film. I'm just telling you that. But Roman says, doesn't matter what the government thinks or if they like us, we like us. Where did he become such an advanced soul at such a young age? Do you have any idea?
Well, I remember when there were protests against Proposition 8, and we came down to City Hall.
Right here.
And it was such a beautiful moment because we didn't know really where we were going, and there was the big lawn out in front, and everybody was over on the other side, and so we came marching up hand in hand, and we got a huge ovation. And
just because there were kids, and
right.
You know.
And so that was very moving for us, you know, because we felt acknowledged. And so we've always been activists, and our children have stood with us as well.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's an awesome film. Again, your boys are awesome. I mean, Roman and Nero, it's just incredible. You've got to see this. There is the movie poster on your screen right there. Make sure when it comes to your area, you see this documentary to the story of Roman and Nero. So Desmond, Child, Curtis Shaw, great having you guys on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Best of luck with it. All right, that's all the time that we have for this edition of Out and About today. We'll see you guys next time. Good night.